Now it's time for our featured story of the night. Yes. All right, it's time to talk about a little Mandalorian, everybody. So I'm going to talk about Mandalorian Episode 4, Season 3. This just came out on Wednesday, so everybody got a chance to watch it. We're keeping updated. We're getting into it, talking about a little bit more Mando and little baby Grogu. So this episode for me, I mean, it's again, I feel like it sucks. It's like the shortest episode. It's like 32 minutes. I'm like, it went by way too fast. And again, it's kind of just developing them reintegrating themselves into with the Mandalorians. You know, it's like now you got Bo-Katan in there, and I feel like there's some shit happening right there with her. Like, of course, I saw it writing on the wall if she went in the waters. I'm like, oh, she's gonna keep that helmet on, and I think she wants to be in charge again. I really do, and I think she felt that power this episode a little bit, taking charge, getting to sit by the fire by herself, and having like everybody walk away, and she's like, I'll take my mask off, but I can hang out here by myself. Yeah, I'm in charge. I think she likes it. I think she does. And then actually is talking about how she saw the mythosaur. That's a huge thing. It's like, this is the way. Like, I feel like this is her way of kind of making herself take charge. And it makes us as an audience wonder, will she be the person to lead them? Or will Mando actually be the person to lead them? Because he doesn't really want it, but she wants it really bad. So now we have this kind of force. Will she make Mando want it? Or will she actually take over? I feel like it might be one of those things where it's forcing him to be the best, like, for the group. I don't know. Only time will tell for this. I did like the Jedi flashback. I thought that was a lot of fun. That you had I think it's Kelron Beck, I think how you say his name, who actually played Jar Jar Binks originally in the original trilogy. And like, that's who this guy is. So when you see him, he comes in there and he saves Grogu, because they've always hinted at, like, who is the guy that saved Grogu? Who is it, you know? And they finally showed him. It's big fan service. I know fans are going nuts online, being like, "Oh shit, it's Jar Jar Binks," you know. And the actor's name is Ahmed Best. And the thing is, this guy went through a lot of shit when he played Jar Jar too. Like, he almost killed himself because of it. Like, the fans were really fucking shitty to him because they did not like Jar Jar Binks, and they went nuts on him. So he almost killed himself. So the fact that they were able to bring him back and play this role, which I guess he played on a game show before as this character, so that they integrated it back. Yeah, honestly, that's what a game show where he played this character, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen it. But the fact is, like, that was a way of, like, saying thank you to Star Wars because they knew how much it hurt him before. So now he got this opportunity. But I don't know, for me, I'm like, this is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. It's quick as shit, but pretty solid. It's really developing. I said, you know, Bo-Katan's kind of like relationship with them and integrating and like being a Mandalorian, I think. Jake, you've got a chance to watch this, right? You're caught up with us. What'd you think about this new episode? Were you excited about it? Did it fulfill you, or did you feel left like, what the hell? It's done already?
Fulfill you?
Super fulfilling. Yeah, it was great. It's like a whole quart of Moose Tracks ice cream all to myself. Yeah.
Yep, exactly what I was thinking.
I liked it, and I saw. I went back and I rewatched the third one just to kind of get my brain right. And went right into the fourth. And I could see where her, like you were saying in the beginning, she's kind of getting all of these signs from the ether that she's in the right position, right? She's potentially sees the mythosaur. We don't really know if that's true or if it was just in her head.
No, she saw the fuck out of that mythosaur, bro.
Yeah. And then she gets the she gets the spot at the fire. And so it's either she's getting all these signs who are gonna bolster her. What?
The baby Yoda's so cute. Look at the picture. I want to touch it. He's so adorable. I can't take it. I'm sorry.
Where is he?
You're breaking Jake's train of thought here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's got his shield on.
He's like, he's holding on to like his little like neckerchief. It's so cute. I can't. Yeah. I love that little fucker.
He had to. That's a great moment. He was going to eat one of those crabs, by the way.
Me too.
I thought he was eating one of those crabs too.
I was waiting for
it. Do not put it in your mouth, little man. Don't do it.
Yeah, or get like snapped by it and be upset.
I wish he would have.
But he, I can see where it's either going to be her ego is inflating itself, or it's actually the universe putting her in that position. And then there's going to be it could be either. It could go either way, I think. And then showing, Grogu's backstory, Baby Yoda's backstory, kind of that gives you a little bit in there, and Yeah, I thought it was good. It was short, but there was a lot packed in there.
There was.
There's a lot packed
And
in
even,
there.
you know what the weird thing is? Even though they spent like 5 minutes on a flashback scene of Baby Yoda just basically being in a freaking fight, you know,
Mhm.
or like being tugged along for like a
Oh, yeah.
fight. And even though there was like this long approach of them like going to find the Foundling, like there was so much time in that small amount of minutes of the episode where really there was no dialogue. Like there was no, it was just like, we're going to make this happen. And like that, it still had so much packed into it, which is fucking nuts.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like there was so much time of them getting the Foundling, so much time of Baby Yoda's flashback. Like it, but still, if you take out probably half of the episode was basically action and no dialogue. And
Mhm.
they still covered a lot of shit. And I think you're both right with Bo-Katan for sure. I think she wants this. I think she wants it like immensely. And I think that she's been, you know, from episode 1, she was like, fuck you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want anything to do with it, bro. Like I'm done. Like no thanks. Right. And then he needs her and she comes to save him. She saves him twice. And now is in the situation where she bathed in the waters of Mandalore and she is actually able to be redeemed, you know, with that creed. And I think at first she wasn't interested, obviously, because she was like, yeah, that's not for me, but thanks y'all.
Yeah.
But if you put that to the side and the way that she's behaved since then, Jake, I think you're absolutely right. Like, I think she's going to go back to this. And I think that they will wind up going back to Mandalore. And I think that maybe fighting the Mythosaur. I don't know.
Mm.
Or maybe embracing the Mythosaur. I don't know. But I do believe she saw it. And I do believe it exists. And I do believe that it will come back around. And I always liked her character. And I'm glad that they brought her back in
I
this
like her a
way.
lot.
And that, yeah, I think she's great.
And then
She's
she
a badass
actually
fucking
voiced the
bitch.
character in the animated stuff too. So this is
Have
like
you guys-
bringing an animated voice to the actual live action.
I didn't know that.
Who plays that? What's the actress's name who plays her?
What are you gonna try to sign her?
You trying to find her right now?
She was in.
I don't know her
I like
name.
her.
She's
She was-
great though. I'll look her
She's
up.
been
right
in
now.
so
Hold on,
much
give me a
stuff.
second.
She was in Babylon.
She was-
Was it was that Babylon?
She was in Longmire. Did you guys watch?
Oh,
Longmire?
was she?
Battlestar Galactica. That was her big. That's where she first made
Okay.
it big. Is Battlestar Galactica.
Okay,
But she is so. I mean, I like her a lot. She's so good.
she's good, but her
Katie,
character in
Sackhoff.
Longmire was awful.
Katie
Oh,
Sackhoff.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Katie
are you
Sackhoff.
sure? Wow,
Yeah.
that does not look like her at all. Yes, that is her. Oh my god, she looks so different with blonde hair. Crazy.
Yeah, she's normally blonde hair. She's almost normally blonde hair. Like everything
Wow,
I've seen her in, she's had some great stuff. I like she's in a lot of Netflix movies, and she also has. I mean, like I said, Battlestar Galactica was her big claim to fame. I never watched that, but I know that was like she was a big pivotal part in that show. So
That's
people
crazy.
love her from that.
I can't. I mean, I see her now as a different person. Like she looks so different.
Oh yeah, but she's
she,
great in
There's
it.
a picture where she looks like Jessica Chastain, which is kind of crazy too. I guess the hair color really does make a difference.
I mean, I love what
Yeah.
they've done with her and given her the opportunity to grow, and the fact that the
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorians are kind of like joining together now, and like they're all kind of lining up and like finding their way together. And this is what I think is going to lead to them actually going to Mandalore and actually, you know, coming back, going home, and like now they're just suiting up. They're forming the team. You know, it's like time for us to become a unit, and I think she loves it more and more and more. And I think what
She
she
does.
wants and like the power that she has
And
right now.
feeling feeling the respect
The
and
power.
feeling the power and having that authority, which like, you know, they showed her whole castle get destroyed, but it was fucking her by herself, just sitting
Yeah.
around with a droid. Now she has that camaraderie again. She has like her people around her, and I feel like that's going to fuel her to do great things. Like I'm actually really
Isn't
excited
she
about
like
it.
part of like a kind of a royalty?
Yeah, she's like royal family. Yeah, the last royal
100%.
family. The last royal family
of Mandalore.
of
Yeah.
Mandalore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Din Djarin,
it's-
Mando didn't
Doesn't-
want the black
doesn't
saber
want it.
anyway.
No.
No.
Right?
No,
But
and did
she
you
has-
see? That was the other thing. When she wielded it, she had no trouble. She was like,
Yeah.
like you know, like spinning poi and
Mhm.
fucking like Mando when he takes it out. It's always like such a struggle. Like he can't.
But he has no idea how to
Yeah,
handle
Yeah,
it.
he
Hard.
can't mentally control the saber, and she fucking can. It belongs in her hands.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
only
Yeah,
problem
it's
with that is that you have to earn it by fight, like which is
It's hard
you
to beat
know-
Well,
Mando.
this is her way. This
Jin
is her
is
path
like-
to do that. You know.
Well, that's
But
the
can't-
question for
he
you
has
two.
control of
Do
the
you-
saber. Like, so she's gonna have to fight him. I don't want that. I really hope it doesn't end up with that. I really.
But do you think that it's gonna come down? Do you think that this story's end up being her story? That she's gonna like coming back up and her royal bloodline getting back there, or do you think this is a way of like Mando being forced to overtake her in a way and become something that he's not?
Is she the Mandalorian, and we've been thinking it's him this whole time?
I mean,
that's a very deep question, Jake. Look at you.
I mean, even the fact that she put the mythosaur on her arm at the end of that episode was kind of like her embracing her heritage in a way. So,
and then they made Baby Yoda a nice little plaque for his little mesh
Yeah, he got
armor.
his.
It
was
was so
funny.
cute.
He was so confused. He's like, "Why do I need this?"
He is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. I can't. I love.
How does he wear a helmet? How's he ever gonna wear a helmet? The kind of like holes in the side for his ears.
My number one
Maybe they
thing
go down
about
the
this
mythosaur
season
horns.
is more Baby Yoda.
Maybe, you know.
Oh yeah, maybe he just has flaps. What if he has flaps, like little Mando?
Or
flaps?
his ears are like the rudders on her jet that does cool stuff when it's flying around. It's flying.
That shit's. I love when that happens.
The paintball little
the
game
paintball scene was awesome.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's like, he gets hit twice and he flips
so
around
cute.
the air and whoops that guy's ass and hits him 1, 2, 3 in a row. That was so cool. That's a good way to start the episode.
Going back to episode 3 with like the whole doctor being rehabilitated, whatever that was.
Yeah, weird episode.
He was into cloning for the Empire, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, was he doing that right at the same time Yoda died, and this little guy showed up? Is that what he was cloning?
No, I think he's later.
Yeah, I think they wanted Baby Yoda to clone him. I think that was the.
Well, the rumor online, people are probably. I mean, this is the one thing that it's not really like out there yet, but the idea is that maybe he's the person that makes Snoke in the Star Wars movies. He's the person that led to the cloning for Palpatine to come back for all that stuff. Like his research led to that, because the whole idea for Grogu when he had Grogu was that he was going to use his DNA to be able to clone force sensitive people. But force sensitive people because of the metachlorians that he has, So it's like, it's based off, using that, but he felt too bad for little Grogu that he couldn't do it. So he helped him escape, And then he was rehabilitated, and that shows. But now that he's being switched back, does that mean now that when they brain fried him, is he going to go back to the Empire now? And now that's what leads to him helping all the other clones happen, like, Snoke and Palpatine later on. So is that the tie-in, because this happens before all those. This happens between, after Return of the Jedi and before, Force Awakens. So does this lead towards all that? That's the question. I think that's why they spent a lot of time on him. And that's what people are saying online too. I kind of get that. It makes sense. Like if that's why they spent that time on him, because he is going to be a bigger part to tying those narratives together.
It was too much for me, that episode. It was like, go fuck yourself. Please stop. It's annoying.
Did you notice that they showed the Rock in this episode, or the Rock, the one piece of Coruscant that was like hit?
Oh, that was the thing.
Yeah. They showed that one piece of Coruscant that was like, because they're above the ground, so they're flying.
There was so much symbolism in that, like that whole thing. It was weird because it's like it's talking about the Empire and then like being rehabilitated, but they had to retrain all these. It's like Project Paperclip with the Nazis and where all those scientists went right after the fall.
Oh yeah.
And then like Russia used some, we used some, and it's like, but you have to be good, and we're going to use all of your craziness for good, right? Right. We're going to go to the moon,
good.
Right? It's all good. I don't know. But then there's like, there's a thing with being able to touch the earth, and people go grounding, like walking around outside with your bare feet.
Yeah, grounding. It's a big thing.
And they don't let anybody on this planet touch the ground. So you're kind of disconnected from nature. The ultimate
You can't even touch the rock. You can't even touch the rock.
Yeah, they wouldn't even
let
let
you
touch the rock. So I was thinking about that when that happened. I was like, wow, there's a lot of crazy MK Ultra mind control kind of vibes here with this whole.
This is the way.
Yeah, well, that's not the way.
I thought you were talking about this last episode, and I was so lost. And then I was like, "Oh, you mean the episode?"
This last episode, when he was saving when Jar Jar Binks, well, not Jar Jar Binks, but when he was saving Grogu, they fly through the city, and you can see the rock.
Yeah.
You can see that one piece.
No, 100%. But then when he
they
said
were
you can't touch the rock,
popsicles.
like, yeah. That was. But I'm saying that was the previous episodes. Like when you first said it, I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" But no, for sure.
It's interesting.
Maybe those little dinosaurs get to land on the rock and do some stuff.
Maybe.
I'm curious to how How are they gonna make them do stuff? They're so big. I mean, if they put
The
don't think
babies,
Star-
the foundlings, they're foundlings. They're gonna
they're
be. It's gonna be
foundlings.
like Game of Thrones. They're gonna have like
So
their
can,
own
like,
set of fucking dragons now.
any living, breathing thing can be a foundling and trained as a Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's
That's
this is the
crazy.
way,
This
bro.
is the way,
This
Jake.
is the way.
I like it.
They're gonna be riding those shits. You wait. When this thing's all done, and then Jon Favreau was in an interview recently talking about The Mandalorian, and they asked him how long is it gonna go. And he said, I'm having such a blast doing this. As long as I'm having fun, I'm gonna keep doing this. Forever,
Yeah.
if he asked, forever long he does it. And they were saying like maybe 10 seasons. He goes, maybe 10 seasons. So it's like that might be a thing. He said it's only a few months a year. They have a great team. They get together. They have fun.
It's
They
not a
shoot
few
it.
months a year. It's a long fucking season, dude. Like let's rate a few months a year.
That's what he said. He said it's a few months a year. We get together. We shoot once. I think he said we shoot once a year. We shoot once a year. It's fun. We get together. We have a blast. Like I'm always having fun every time. Why would I stop? So it's like this might go for a long time. The
He's
ratings
doing
were
a
a
good
little bit
job.
lower. Yeah, I think so too. The ratings are lower though, so people are freaking out about like, oh, the ratings aren't as high. And I'm like, well, it's still doing good. It's still, they're not just gonna stop. They're just not. There's a built-in audience now, and the whole world's built now. And they keep building off it. Ahsoka will come out, and then like the skeleton crew will come out, and they all tie in together, and you'll see like the world is building and building, and I think it's going to be great. I think what they've done with this is amazing, and I'm always ready for more. Even though like people are complaining there's not enough action in this season too, I'm like, I don't really care. I think it works. The action we have is good, and I think we're
I feel like
developing the
there's
characters
quite a
a lot.
bit of action, actually.
Yeah, it's fine. A lot of it's taking place
I have
in the
no
air
problem.
right now, but it's
And there's
good.
more Yoda, which I am all over. Okay, as much Baby
Yeah.
Yoda as I can get, as much Grogu as you'll give me, I will take. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
just
how
love when
he's
she's
like,
like,
a
follow
little
me.
bit animatronic when
Yeah.
he walks and stuff. He's kind of got like that I'm a little puppet
So
kind of a
cute.
vibe to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like when he gets up, he's like,
good for them.
like he makes
Yeah, he
these
kinda-
cute little sounds.
Like
It's
he's
so
like
adorable.
like he's struggling, like, oh, I gotta do this again. He's kind of got like this old man vibe going on. It's pretty cool.
I will still say when this ends, he's gonna say this is the way. That's what I think is
his
gonna
first
happen.
words.
Those are his
Yeah.
first words.
That'd be super
Yeah,
cute.
I think that's gonna be. This is the way.
I mean,
I still
if
think-
Yoda was a Mandalorian, how
Yeah.
much more of a badass would he be?
I don't
Pretty
even know what that means.
happy
but-
for 2024. Oh, either. But yeah, honestly, I think we're halfway through the season. There's only 4 more episodes left. So we're halfway through. I don't know. I'm excited to. I think we're going to go back to Mandalore before the season's done. I think so. I
Oh,
don't
for
know.
sure. For sure.
I think we have to go see that Mythosaur again. We have to see if it's real or not. I think it's real.
Me
But,
too.
it might not be, Jake. You're right. It might not be, but it seems like that was
it's
pretty
real.
substantial
It's-
to make her believe again in the lore of it,
I mean, you could go real deep and say that the only thing everything exists in our brains, right? Because we're perceiving it. So technically, it's real. If
Well,
she
that's
saw
that's
it,
what
it's
that's
real.
what she said. Like she was like, well, if you're a Mandalore, like your visions, like of course it would make sense that you. And then she was like, yeah, no, it was real. Like it was
Yeah,
real.
she's like, I saw
Yeah,
it.
no,
And all
yeah.
she said to her was, "This is the way."
This is the
This
way.
way. Yeah,
Right,
which is what they all
so-
say.
You saw it. You saw it. It's real to you,
It's real.
at least. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's real
Yeah.
to me if you saw it.
I
It's
think it's
real.
real to everybody. I think it exists. I think she
I think
rode
so,
right
too.
past that eyeball with fucking Mando in her arms and her little jetpack, and I'm all about
I don't
it.
want to see that eyeball. If I ever saw that eyeball, I'd be like,
That's
bye bye.
a little scary.
Good night. I'm going.
Right.
But this is the way, everybody. This is the way.